Hey guys, this is God of Politics. Welcome back to a brand new video. We are now at 348 subscribers. Can we get to 500 subscribers by election day? Please like this video and subscribe to the channel so that we can get there. Also, join the Discord that is linked down in the description and check out the website that is also linked down in the description, which I have been updating every single day. I have my own polling average. I have my own election predictions, so you should check that out, linked down in the description. But in today's video, I do want to be talking about the Senate. Now, I've kind of just filled in some of the safe, likely states, but the point of this video is to talk about the Supreme Court. How will the Supreme Court elections affect, or the Supreme Court nomination affect the election? Now, we did have a recent poll. I hate to be just cherry picking individual polls, but we haven't had too many polls yet. But there is this article from USA Today saying half of American voters think the winner of the 2020 presidential election should appoint the Supreme Court justice who will replace the late Ruth Bader Ginsburg, according to a new poll. The Politico Morning Consult poll released Monday shows that plurality of voters surveyed, 50%, said whichever candidate wins in November, President Donald Trump or former Vice President Joe Biden, should choose the next justice because the election is, quote, fewer than 50 days away. 37% Trump should get to decide because he is currently president. Another 12% had no opinion. Now, if we look at the results of this, you see 37%. That's pretty much Trump's base, maybe a little bit more than Trump's base, who thinks that he should definitely fill the seat. Whether that's being hypocritical based off what happened with Merrick Garland is another question, but that is what the poll shows, and that's probably, I agree with what the country thinks. And 50%, we have 50% of the country that is definitely not going to vote for Trump to begin with, who say that they should wait until after the election to fill the seat. And looking at this from an electoral standpoint, in which states will that make a difference? Now, I filled in some of the safe, likely states. This could, for example, make Kansas maybe a safe state due to the fact that it's a red state and they won't want to elect a blue Democratic senator, especially when you come out against it. Maybe it could make Montana less competitive because Steve Bullock came out against the nomination. You look at John Tester, he's pretty moderate on the issues. He voted for Kavanaugh, or I think he voted for Kavanaugh, but he's pretty moderate is what I'm saying, and Steve Bullock coming out against this when the state is filled with mostly Republicans could hurt him there, but it could also help Democrats in states like Minnesota and states like Michigan. I think they'll be able to win those states regardless, but it could marginally help them. And another state where I think it will help the most is the state of Colorado. In the state of Colorado, you have current incumbent Senator Cory Gardner. He was first elected in 2014 in the Republican waiver. Now he's basically dead on arrival before this happened, but I would even put it at safe blue now. You look at, he was already getting attacks on the healthcare issue, voting to repeal Obamacare, and he was already down almost double digits, even double digits in some of these polls. And now he's, said that he's now said that he's going to vote for a Supreme Court nomination in an election year, going back on what he said in 2016 in a state that voted for Hillary by 5.5 percentage points and could easily vote for Joe Biden by a safe margin. So he's basically done on arrival. Now he's going to lose this election by 10 points to John Hickenlooper, over 10 points, I believe. John Hickenlooper is basically a walking scandal. He has a lot of scandals, but that does not really matter at this point. He can just keep hitting Cory Gardner on the healthcare issue, and he can just keep hitting him on the Supreme Court. And in the polarized times we have now, people that are in a blue state are going to vote for the Democratic candidate, especially in a state like Colorado with something that has happened in the case of Cory Gardner with the Supreme Court. In the case of Arizona, people have been saying that this could possibly help Martha McSally. And the reason is Arizona is a traditionally Republican state. It's becoming more blue now, but it is still filled with conservative voters, some conservative Democrats, some moderate Democrats that, are going to the Democratic Party, but still do believe in social conservative, for example, social conservatism, economic conservatism, but will still vote for a Democratic candidate. They may prefer that a Supreme Court justice is replaced by Donald Trump and not by the next president, if that were to be Joe Biden, who would replace it with a liberal, most likely or obviously. So people are saying that, you have a lot of ticket splitting in the state of Arizona. You have some people voting for Mark Kelly and Donald Trump. There will be less of that now. It'll go from Mark Kelly and Donald Trump to Martha McSally and Donald Trump, and that could marginally help McSally, but McSally was already down by so much to begin with that I don't think she's going to be able to end up winning this election. Kelly made some, pretty bad comments. If you want to look those up, you can, but it doesn't really seem to hurt his campaign very much at all, and he's an astronaut. People like that about him, and he's probably going to end up winning this election pretty easily. In Georgia, they probably won't become too much more competitive because of this. You saw what Doug Collins said. It was completely disgusting what he said about it. What he said about Ruth Bader Ginsburg's death, I don't think that'll necessarily hurt him because it's Republican voters anyway. He's going to do well in the rural areas, and Kelly Loeffler will do well in the suburban areas. Raphael Warnock's going to rack up the votes in the Atlanta metro area and not let too many votes go to Matt Lieberman, and hopefully that could help him. For his case, hopefully that could help Warnock in the special election. In the normal election, you might have a similar case to what's happening in Arizona. Traditionally, Democrats, especially white voters, that are more conservative but would vote for a Democrat, and so that is going to help Purdue, I do believe, but again, it's very narrow. North Carolina, I think it'll be a net effect. Right now, I did just move it to lean Republican. If you check that on my website, you would see it, but right now I do have North Carolina as, actually not lean Republican, lean Democrat with Cal Cunningham versus Tom Tillis. I've went over the reasons why I think Tom Tillis is going to lose. He's unpopular. He's in a ticket-splitting state. He's in a state that could easily go to Joe Biden. And so you look at this and you see, well, there were going to be some third-party voters, especially like the Constitution and the Libertarian ticket, and a lot of those would be ticket splitters who would also vote for Donald Trump, and they were voting for those candidates because they don't want to vote for Cal Cunningham, but they also don't want to vote for Tom Tillis, but they are still conservative voters. So after what's going on now, they may flock back to Tillis, but it is hard to tell because, depending on whether the Supreme Court justice is, going to be elected, or not elected, but confirmed to the Supreme Court. So if that is done before the election, it may not make much of a difference for Tillis, but it could also make him more unpopular because, part of the reason he is unpopular is they say he has no spine, things like that. You have what happened with the Saudi Arabia, the weapon sales to Saudi Arabia. He said he was going to vote against it in a op-ed, and then Trump told him to vote for it, and he voted for it. Those kinds of things are the reason that Tom Tillis became unpopular, and that could hurt him, could make him even more unpopular, could give a better case for Cal Cunningham, and I think it'll have probably a net effect because some people in the Libertarian Party will say, I'll just hold my nose, vote for Tom Tillis even though he's unpopular because I'm still a conservative. There may be less of those than the people who are upset by what Tom Tillis has done in terms of voting for the nomination itself, which he is probably going to do. So I do think that will help Cal Cunningham and make it lean Democrat. Susan Collins, this is virtually a lose-lose situation for her. If she votes no on the nomination, then, the base of Republicans, however small that is, it does exist, the base of Republicans is going to get more alienated by her, may not even turn out to vote for her. That is a problem, but less of a problem if she votes yes or even present, where you have the issue that, independent voters are just going to completely go away from her. If you look at the polling data, it shows that, the approval rating of her voting for Kavanaugh was like 35%. And this state was won by Hillary by 3 points. It was won by Obama by a safe margin. I currently have it as safe blue in my map. And at this point, I'd put Maine Senate at lean blue because this is virtually the last thing that Susan Collins would have wanted to have in this situation. It is just hurting her chances for re-election. She's really unpopular. She has not good fundraising. She's not doing well in the polls, and this just hurts her case even more. There's not a single metric I've seen that is going to help Susan Collins other than the fact that, she won by 30 points back in 2014, but that's not an argument to why she's going to win this time. Times are much more polarized now. Maine's a different state now. Susan Collins is a different senator now with different popularity. She was the most popular back then. Now she's the most unpopular. So things have definitely changed, and I think Susan Collins is pretty screwed in Maine. I haven't filled in Iowa. I actually do have this tilt blue on my map, but just for the case of this, I'll put a tilt red, just because of the fact that maybe it could help Joni Ernst. Iowa's a very swingy state. It's hard to tell, what the ideology of these people are. It's probably more conservative because it is a more rural state, which can make it more socially conservative against things like trade deals, things like that. But Joni Ernst is not that popular to begin with, and then you could see the same thing that you're seeing with Tom Tillis, where she just becomes more unpopular because of this. But my overall map, this is a little different from my overall map, but my overall map does have Democrats at 51, Republicans at 49, and the polling data does back this up too. For example, if we want to look at the Colorado polling data, it's lean Democrat. We haven't had many polls there. North Carolina, Cunningham's up 5.2, Gideon is up 6, Peters is up 4.5, Greenfield's up 2.6, Kelly's up 5.5, Smith's up 8.7. So Democrats are in a good position in the Senate. I do think that if any effect comes about because of the Supreme Court justice nomination, it is going to help Democrats, but I don't think it'll be too big of an impact. So thank you all for watching this video. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Also join the Discord that is linked down in the description, and check out the website that is also linked down in the description. So again, guys, thank you all for watching this video, and I will see you guys later.